Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
And today we're going to get into some NFL again. We're going to do a division preview. We just can't get enough of this NFL stuff, and I know it's so far away, yet so close. So we're going to intro away there, and we're just going to do division previews as the weeks go on to keep you guys' appetite satisfied. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. Luke, are you looking forward to it?
Oh, yeah.
I knew you would be, boy.
Yeah, I like it, man. Divisional previews. Very interesting. Predicting how this divisions are going to turn out. Who's going to be the team this year in this division? Who's going to not be the team this year? Who's going to step up big for these teams? What can we look forward to in this division? What are the takeaways? What's going to happen? I'm looking forward to breaking it down, busting it out, and just previewing it.
Yeah, let's do like a random thing so we don't just pick any division. What do you say we spin the bottle?
Yeah, we can do it.
Not the kissing one, but the one that just land on a division.
Either one works.
All right. The bottle has been spun. It's going. Looks like we've landed on one, Luke.
AFC North.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it.
The most violent, the most vile, the most ferocious, the dirtiest, the stinkiest, the muddiest division of them all.
The Crocodile Dundee.
I guarantee you not one player in that division has a clean fingernail.
Or a clean bosom.
Yeah, I don't think that either, man. That's part of the prerequisite to get into that division. I love this division, and it's one of the best divisions in all of football right now, so it's going to be an adventure. I hope you guys are along for the ride. Let's start out with the Steel Curtain.
Black and yellow.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yee.
Headed by the one, the only Mike Tomlin. Great head coach, great man.
Gotta love him.
Great philanthropist. Great
sure.
Charity worker, just a great all-around guy. And a not-so-good guy, Ben Roethlisberger, their starting quarterback. And I think a lot of how the Steelers' season will go lies on Big Ben's shoulders. If he's wearing down, he looked worn down, throwing picks, making bad decisions, pocket breaking down, it's not going to be so good for the Steelers. But if Ben, he's touching his toes, he's doing yoga, he's going to a therapist, he's working things out, he's getting healthy, and he's got a strong arm. He's got the weapons now. Their offensive line's a little weak. They've lost a few people. But I think if he's above average quarterback or half of the Ben we've seen before, the Steelers will be all right. At running back, they got the Najee Harris, man, Alabama rookie. I think this is a match made in heaven for the Steelers. You look at him, even before the draft, you look at him, and you nod your head and you say, that guy's a Steeler, I tell you what, son. That Najee kid, that's a Steeler, and I agree 110%. Weapons on the outside, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. You got Eric Ebron, Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, Big Ben's got some targets out there, man. A lot of good ones, very talented. Chase Claypool was a rookie last year. Scored 10 touchdowns. Solid defense, anchored by T.J. Watt. They got Devin Bush in the linebacking core. Swift man. And then they got Minkah Fitzpatrick as a safety, who was a Pro Bowler last year. They look real good to me, Luke. They look really, really solid. How are you feeling about these guys right about now?
Yeah, the guys you named were good players. I like the way they're built. I like the weapons they have for Big Ben. My biggest concern is their O-line and Big Ben. I think Big Ben's 2020 season was concerning. I don't think it was a great showing at all for him. I think he threw the ball rather poor, inefficiently. Being a guy who's known for being a strong-armed quarterback and not being able to deliver the ball to some of these great weapons is kind of concerning. I don't know why they decided to bring him back. Maybe they believe he still has some juice. We'll have to find out. But it kind of banks on, I think this season kind of banks on Big Ben, really. How he's performing. If he's, back to 2018 Big Ben, even before then, this team could be really strong. But another weakness for them is their offensive line. Got rid of Alejandro Villanueva. Didn't really replace him. It's a big weakness, what they're trying to do and establishing the run and, working off that play action and, getting the ball to these weapons. So, yeah, I'm not too enthused about them really, but, they're very competitive every year. And it's nice that they finally got, Najee Harris to be their bell cow. Not really having one since Le'Veon Bell, but...
So do you would be shocked if they won a division?
Yeah, I would be. The Browns and Baltimore are still here. They're building up great teams. Both of those teams have great offensive lines. I think that's really what's going to excel them. You can kind of hold off, T.J. Watt and Vince Williams and Stephon Tuitt, kind of hold them off a little longer. And they're great run teams. The Steelers weren't last year. They couldn't really get anything going on the ground, which kind of forced Ben to kind of have to pass the ball a lot, and it wasn't a good recipe for success. So hopefully Najee Harris can turn it around and really establish a great run game like they have in the past and really open it up. But I wouldn't bank on them winning the division.
Well, I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think this defense is very strong. I think this is the strong part of this team. You know what they say about defenses, don't you?
Yeah, they win.
Yeah, boy. But, it's not like a juggernaut defense or anything. It's not something, but they're very solid at basically every level.
Yeah, I think it is solid, but they did lose some corners and Steven Nelson and Mike Hilton.
And Dupree, Bud.
Yeah, Bud Dupree. That's another one who's been...
I think that was a huge loss for him. But
I agree, yeah. But, they still have players. You mentioned it. It's just they did lose some significant pieces. And they're going to be a strong defense. They're still going to be top 10.
You think Juju's going to Juju on that beat?
Yeah, I honestly do. I think...
Whoa.
He signed a one-year deal back with Pittsburgh when he had offers in Baltimore and, Kansas City, and another team, I think. And he decided to come back on a one-year deal. I think he really knows and he's going to show that he has a lot to prove. I think it's a prove-it deal. He loves Pittsburgh, obviously, because he's coming back. But, he doesn't want to leave this team without the NFL knowing who he really is, how good of a player he is. I think he's the number one on paper on this team. I just don't know. They put him in the slot a lot last year, which I think they're planning on moving him back outside, which I think is better for him because you have Deontay Johnson, who is more of like Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown played the slot, was real good. Juju was able to play off of him, kind of on the outside, and that's when he had his best years. So get Juju back on the outside, let him work his game. And I can see him having a much better year.
Do you think that the reason, or one of the reasons Juju re-signed with the Steelers is to prove to Antonio Brown?
I think it definitely could be.
I think it factors in, man, because he went pretty hard at Antonio. Antonio went pretty. He's like, "You're nothing without me." Antonio
Boo Boo Poopsman or whatever.
Yeah, and he and then last year kind of proved Antonio Brown's point. But Juju's like, hold my beer. I got one more show for you, and he's coming back to do his dang thing.
Yeah.
But he's got some, Deontay Johnson's good. Chase Claypool's good. Eric Ebron's good. Maybe it's just the abundance of weapons.
Yeah, it is for
sure. And the downfall of Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Or the decline.
Yeah, they didn't build up the O-line. That was the biggest concern. If you're going to bring back Ben, he's on his last leg. At least build him up some time to throw. Give him the best ability to succeed. And I think they really struggled with that.
Did Pouncey retire this year?
Yeah, this offseason.
And that's like losing a Pro Bowler, and Villanueva is a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
So that's like two huge holes.
And you're replacing him with Kendrick Green, guy I've never even heard, and Zach Banner, who has potential, but he's never really shown it yet. So
yeah, it should be interesting. You got any bold takes for the Steelers this year?
yeah, I'm going to throw out two, one defensive take and one offensive take. I'll go defensive first. Devin Bush, I think he's top 5 in tackles. He's going to be a great linebacker for them. And for running back on the offensive, Najee Harris leads the NFL in total touches. I think he's going to touch the ball more than anyone in the NFL. I think McCaffrey will be up there with him. I think he's going to get that level of volume in this offense. If you guys remember Le'Veon Bell in this offense, he would touch the ball in every aspect of the game, running it, put him out in the slot, throw him screens, Texas routes, flats, anything. Just get him the ball, get the ball in his hands. And that's what I think that's their plan with Najee. Like I said, they got to establish a running game to open everything else up. And that's been the Steelers' MO for the longest time. So I think they're trying to get back to where they started, drafted Najee early, so he's going to get touches.
I really enjoyed those two bold predictions, actually. I hope, those come true. My bold prediction is, it's not too bold, but Chase Claypool leads them in yards and touchdowns, receiving yards and touchdowns. I think he takes a leap. I think he becomes a dominant number one dude. He's a big boy, young, spry, fast. He showed a lot last year, and I think they saw what he's capable of, and they're gonna, release him into the wild. And I also have another bold prediction. Mason Rudolph gets hit in the head with a helmet again.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Please, let's not see Mason Rudolph.
But this time, he gets knocked out.
Who does it?
Myles Garrett again.
He wants a repeat?
He wants a clean shot this time. Just club him over the head.
Jeez, that would be something. I've never seen anything like that. For it to happen twice would just be earth-shattering.
That was an amazing time in NFL football.
Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't know how to react when I saw it. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. It's WWE stuff.
Yeah, I fell out of my rocker.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anything else on the steel curtain?
What's the record for you, man?
Oh, yeah. I have them. What was your record?
7-10.
See, that's what I was thinking coming into it, but after looking it over, thinking about it during this conversation, I've decided that they will go 8-9. I talked myself into it, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they were to win 8 games, really.
Nah, I wouldn't either in the slightest. All right, let's go to the next team.
What do you have?
The Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals.
Bengal.
Not the Bayou Bengals. However, their starting quarterback is a Bayou Bengal, Joe Burrow, coming off of ACL surgery. They say he'll be back by training camp. Hope all is well. That's a promising young man. I like his future. I like his trajectory. They got JoJo Mix. I think he's in for a big year this year without Giovanni holding him back a little bit. And they got a solid young wide receiver core. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, as we all know, another Bayou Bengal. Their offensive line is poop and trash. They signed Riley Reif, which is a great signing. Did not know that before today. But still, it's lacking, man, especially with Joe being fresh off an ACL. It's very concerning.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah, didn't the Xavier Su'a-Filo play for the Texans?
Yeah.
He stunk.
Yeah, he's no good. He's, second, third string? Even on this stink line, I don't think I guess he's just depth.
I guess. He's starting.
I have Jackson Carman and Quentin Spain.
Oh, yeah, there's Quentin Spain.
I think, Quentin Spain, I know he was on Tennessee, and he graded really high in last 3 years. So, he should probably, for me, I think he's starting.
Yeah, and their defense is, middle of the road. It's not going to scare many people. They got DJ Reader. I don't really know any of their linebackers, man. Is there someone I should know on their linebacking core?
No, they're not very good. Jermaine Pratt's been there for a few years, but he's probably their best one. He hasn't been very well, though.
So they stink.
Yeah,
I've never heard of any of these guys. Their secondary, they got Awuzie from the Cowboys this offseason. Hey, little Eli Apple's on there.
That's bad, yeah.
That guy's been around the block, man. Jesse Bates the third, Von Bell, Trey Waynes. Not bad, but they're rebuilding, and they have their prize possession in Joe Burrow and their new car they can take for a spin with Jamar Chase. So the expectations can't be too high for this team. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't.
Or at least in 2021.
Yeah,
the future is nice.
Yeah, it's great offense for the future. Nice young core, receiving core with Higgins, Boyd, Jamar Chase. Excellent for the future. Assuming Burrow's healthy to start this 2021 season, I expect the offense to be much better. Higgins will elevate his game. Jamar Chase will slide in there, get some targets. And their biggest downfall last year was their inefficient running game with Joe Mixon. Things didn't fall their way. It seemed like at times they weren't really trying to get Joe involved, and just kind of a lot of poor play calls, and it didn't work out. A lot of Gio Bernard, kind of an older, washed guy who probably shouldn't have played as much as he should. You paid Joe Mixon a lot of money. He should be either third down back. He should be playing as many snaps as possible.
Yeah, Joe Mixon's good, man. I don't know why they don't just make him a bell cow, and I think that's what they're kind of doing. Like he was good last year, man, when he played and they gave him the ball.
I have an interesting stat about Joe Mixon.
I'd love to hear it. Lay it on me.
He creates the most yards per touch than any NFL running back of all time.
How many yards is that?
I forget, but it's something crazy.
That's interesting. I am shocked, but Joe Mixon's not a slouch, man. He's a good running back. I'm glad they got rid of Gio or let Gio walk. He's kind of cramping my style, or Joe's style, man. Yeah,
I just wish Cincinnati would have, put the offensive line under a microscope and just really kind of revamped it. Bring in Penei Sewell. You don't need Jamar Chase. He's a great player. He's going to be a stud for the Bengals. But your biggest need is your line. Joe Burrow tore his leg up. Joe Mixon wasn't able to produce very much at all. Ended up getting hurt as well. You're just weak across the board. You don't have much depth. One injury, Jonah Williams goes down. That's a big loss. Quentin Spain goes down. You're starting Xavier Zoafilo. That's just a big problem. I don't know why they didn't do it. That's why I'm not as high on them this year. Imagine this Bengals team. Jamar Chase is gone. But you have Sewell and you have just a solid starting offensive line. This team would have a lot of potential even for 2021. So just for 2021 alone, the fact that they didn't do that and their defense isn't very strong, it's going to be a lot on Joe Burrow, a lot on Mixon. They're going to be in a lot of good games. They're very electric, very exciting team. But ultimately, in this division, they might win 6 games. If Burrow's healthy, they're going to improve. That's just what's going to happen. But, I have them winning 6 games, losing 10.
So let's do a hypothetical. What if they draft Sewell instead of Jamar Chase? What is their offensive line? Where do they move Riley Reif or Jonah Williams?
No, I think if they had Sewell in mind,
he'd be the guard?
Right now, but I don't think they would have signed Riley Reif.
Didn't they already have him, though?
No, I think they signed him in the offseason. But
before the draft.
Yeah, but I think they already knew they were going to take Chase. So if they knew that they were going to take Sewell, if he was their pick, I don't think Reif would have been signed, but maybe they would have signed another guard instead of Reif.
Interesting.
But once they signed Reif, it's kind of telling, we're going to take Chase.
Interesting. I should have read into that more. But yeah, that's the 2021. What did I say the record? Did you
no.
say?
I said 6-11.
Yeah, I'll do 6-11 as well. I think, you said it. They'll be in good games. Joe Burrow's a good quarterback. Defense is, all right. So we'll see, man. 6-11 from both of us. The future is bright in Cincy, though, man. We'll see what Jamar Chase really has to offer, man. And maybe the tight end position is very subpar. Is that true, or is Drew Sample good?
I like Sample. I think he's a solid tight end. I don't know if he's a great starting tight end, but he'd be a really good number 2. But he's got potential.
What about Thaddeus?
He was good at Stanford, so I'm not high on Thaddeus Moss. I don't think he's very good.
But he went to LSU.
Yeah, a lot of people go to LSU though.
But he has history with Joe Burrow. He was good with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I understand.
Keep your eye on that, man. Thaddeus is going to be the starting tight end in 2021. Bold prediction right here, right now.
Yeah, I understand the idea. As an NFL player, I'm not high on Thaddeus Moss, really.
That was my bold prediction.
Is that he'll start from the get-go?
Yeah.
It's pretty bold. I'd be shocked. But
thank you. I want to have the shock factor, man. I'm not beating around the bush any longer, man.
Yeah, I like it.
What about you? What's your bolds?
I'm going to say Joe Burrow comes out slow. I think he starts out slow the year. I think he starts the year out slow. I think the team starts out slow. I don't know what prediction to say, like statistically, but I just think it's going to take Joe a lot of time to get acclimated. Like I said, the O-line's concerning to me, especially in this division with the Steelers defense, Baltimore and Cleveland. All top defense, all top pass rushers on those teams. Yeah, just Joe Burrow coming off the injury. He's going to have some issues, staying out of trouble. I have him coming out the gate real slow. I don't think he's going to have his best year of his career.
Very good. That's fair. Could happen. That could very well happen. Actually, I would not be shocked, man.
Yeah,
ACLs are tough to come by, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer. I just think, people are thinking, they have Chase, they have Higgins, they have Boyd. Like, it's going to be a great offense. Everyone's trying to get pieces of them in fantasy. But I think it's going to be tougher road than what people expect for this Bengals offense and Joe Burrow. At least starting out. They may find their groove at some point, but first few weeks, I think it's going to be a little tough.
Absolutely. Let's move on.
Where we at?
Ooh, you smell that? You know where we're going?
It smells a little stink.
What color?
Brown. I don't know.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, baby. We're making our way to Cleveland, Ohio. So we're here in Cleveland, Ohio, man. And what we got is a pleasant surprise, man. It's not a dumpster fire like we're used to. We got a solid team out here, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about, they got Baker. He's going to make that, hopefully he makes that turn in his career where he's a very, very solid starting quarterback, and you can trust him. And he's not fumbling the ball every second or throwing dumb picks. And they got these two just freaks of nature out of the backfield. You ain't got to worry about one. You got to worry about two of these freaks, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Can you even imagine? It's hard for me, man. And they got their Odell Beckham Jr. should be back by the start of the year. Hopefully he can get back to that superstardom. The old reliable Jarvis Landry. We got a young gun, stun gun, Rashard Higgins. Pooper Hooper, we're looking good. They got a very, very solid offensive line, to block for those two backs up there. They got, I think the sweetest part of the Browns is the defense. At each end you got Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. You got the rookie from Notre Dame, Owusu, which could be a very, very key member of this defense. And, they got Denzel Ward holding it down. Troy Hill, they got in free agency. Josh Johnson III in free agency. They look good. They look sharp. This is exciting, man. For usually, whenever you talk about the Browns, you're talking negative. You're talking poop. Literally and figuratively about the Browns. So it's kind of refreshing to get, say some nice things about Cleveland, man. It's nice. It feels good. Feels good to vent like this and just, be happy for people, man, up there. They've been through it all. What are you thinking about these Brownies these days, man?
Yeah, they're going to be dangerous. You mentioned the players, stud offensive line. They added a lot of good weapons defensively. To remind people, Kevin Stefanski was Coach of the Year last year. His offense is very run-oriented, and with those two guys, they're able to run this offense very efficiently. Nick Chubb, he's a monster rusher. He's up there with Derrick Henry as the best pure runner in the game. Kareem Hunt, the best complementary back in the NFL, in my opinion. He scored 11 touchdowns as a number 2 there, which is huge.
How many?
11.
Dang, he's good.
Yeah, it's insane, They're able to run it back, one more year. I know it's Kareem Hunt's last year in Cleveland. If he walks next year, he's going to be a lead back on another team. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Yeah, just for 2020, last year, Odell Beckham was hurt. He kind of underwhelmed for sure, but having him back and healthy would be huge for them. Get your alpha dog back there on the outside, not having to rely on Rashard Higgins or Jarvis as much. And for 2021, I don't see things much changing. It's going to be Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, forcing it down the throats, and then running play action off those guys, finding Odell deep, Jarvis in the intermediate routes, and just being a very efficient offense. Have a lot of time to throw with that offensive line. It's literally disgusting. Like almost all pros, Pro Bowlers on that front 5. Jedrick Wills, a stud. J.C. Treader, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin. That's a scary, scary group of guys, and that's going to be huge for Cleveland, with having to face the Steelers and Baltimore twice a year. Yeah, similar to Cincinnati, if they're able to come back fully healthy, stay healthy, OBJ's going to rebound. He's going to be great for Baker. Their defense is special. I think they're going to be forcing a lot of turnovers. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Troy Hill are going to be making a lot of plays, a lot of interceptions. And I'm really, really looking forward to watching Cleveland in 2021.
I've been thinking about it. They have a perfect recipe for winning.
Yeah.
Very perfect.
They do.
They have great running backs. Their time of possession is going to be unworldly with a two-headed monster, Baker making smart plays. And then they won't have to score 30 points. They got a defense that is capable of stopping really any offense. So it's just the recipe they have. That's why I think they can hang with the Chiefs, man. If you keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, that's the goal. It's interesting. I don't know if the Browns meant to do this. Maybe their GM or whatever is very smart, but it's a perfect recipe to cancel out Patrick Mahomes or these high flying offenses. Is just not putting them on the field, just running that ball, getting first downs, getting chunk plays, and you keeping that time of possession, and and having your defense go out there and do its job. I really like that. That's kind of rare nowadays. Usually you're seeing just get as many offensive weapons as possible and just kind of, play quick offense and just, hook and ladder and spark and larkin and Statue of Liberty people. But the Browns are doing it old school, and I think that's the most appropriate thing for the Browns because they like to they like to get things poopy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they like to get it poopy in there.
But yeah, I like how you made the points of the recipe to defeat the Chiefs. We saw them against Tampa Bay. Pass rush. You need a pass rush to get after Mahomes defensively with Garrett and Clowney. I think that's great defensively. And then, weapons on the outside with Ward, drafting Greg Newsome and John Johnson out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. But I have them going 12-5. What about you?
I have them going 13-4.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
They have I think they have the easiest schedule, or up there. One of the easiest schedules. I know that for a fact. So,
I guess for 2020, but
yeah, in terms of the previous records from last year,
yeah,
which can be very misleading. But if we're going off that, yeah, one of the easiest schedules, and I just think they got that. They got the personnel and a great coach. It's looking up for the Brownies, man. It's been a while since I've said that.
What's your bold prediction?
Odell Beckham Jr. is back in the purest form. He'll be a top 5 wide receiver in the league in terms of yards, and he'll have about 12 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm talking about going off, brother.
Okay. I respect it. It's bold.
90-plus catches.
Wow. That's big time.
Yeah.
My bold prediction is going to be Baker Mayfield finishes as a top 5 MVP candidate.
And the caveat to that is that because he put up really good stats or the Browns were really good record-wise?
Both. I think Baker, well, obviously, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to be, huge for this team, but I think Baker is going to put up good numbers and he's going to be efficient. He's not going to have a lot of turnovers. He's going to throw for, I'm going to say he's going to throw for like 35, 40 touchdowns, have less than, probably 5 to 10 picks with a whole bunch of yards. I mean, you have Odell breaking out. If he breaks out, with 1,200, 1,400 yards, Jarvis, 1,000 yards, Rashard Higgins, 600 to 800. Just kind of big years. They kind of open it up a little bit. They win, 12, 13 games. They're one of the higher seeds. I could see him being a top 5 MVP candidate. His potential's there. Kind of haven't seen that level of Baker yet, but I think, him really getting familiar with Kevin Stefanski's offense and just really playing his ball and playing to his potential. That's my bold prediction.
Heck, your bold prediction scratches my bold predictions back.
Yeah.
I like
playing
it,
off each other.
Yeah. Let's hope for a beautiful season from the Browns. Let us move on to the Baltimore Ravens. Edgar Allan Poe, baby. You ever read that? The Raven?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Why?
School purposes.
You read it more than once?
Yeah.
What did you get out of that?
I kind of enjoyed it. I like the Raven.
I like Edgar Allan Poe. He's an interesting guy.
I don't think he's a good guy, but he was good at poetry and writing for sure.
Yeah, he brought me to tears a couple times.
Yeah, he's very dark, but it has a lot of meaning.
Yeah, morbid. All right, anyway, sorry. Back to the Baltimore Ravens football. And this is another exciting team, man. This division just keeps coming, and every team you look at, man, is very, very strong. Of course, we have Lamar Jackson heading the hole. He's righting the ship. People say he can't pass. He was the MVP 2 years ago. Struggled a little bit last year. People, pit that against him. They say, man, he'll never be a fine quarterback in this league. But I disagree for this point alone. The biggest change the Ravens have made is the wide receiver core this offseason. They have Hollywood Brown, who's second year. They added Sammy Watkins. They drafted Rashad Bateman. They still have Devin Duvernay, Miles Boykin. But having that savvy vet and Sammy Watkins and kind of do every route. Marquise Brown's kind of like a one-trick pony as of right now. And adding a rookie that can run all the routes as well will help Lamar in his growth as a passer. And I think we'll see it this year. Of course, he's got Mark Andrews, his little security blanket. Solid offensive line. They lost a couple offensive linemen, but they also, traded for one. They drafted Patrick Queen, who I really like, out of LSU. And then they lost a couple people on the defensive line, but as a whole, as a team, I don't think they take a step back on the offensive end. I think if they do have a slight step back, it'll be defensively. But overall, I think the Ravens will be relatively the same. They'll be a top team in the NFL. They'll be playoff contenders. I think they'll be fine. I think they got what it takes. I think they'll push for the division, to be honest with you. Yeah, on that note, man, I think they're they're on the gravy train. Luke, are you bird upping?
Yeah, I like it. I like the points you made. Their offense is centered around Jackson's unique rushing ability. J.K. Dobbins, I'm looking forward to seeing him take the next step, being the lead dog here. Just utilizing him in open space. He's very explosive, very electric. The combo between J.K. and Lamar is very deadly. And I think people are kind of underestimating that. Going into 2021, I think, RPOs, read options, designed runs, screen plays, just getting those guys involved in every aspect it's going to be huge for Baltimore. I know they're going to start, our people are thinking, they're going to start throwing it a lot, after what they did in the offseason. But, I think they're going to stay true to what Lamar's strengths are. This O-line is built on run blocking, and it's just what the offense is designed to be a part of. That's their scheme. They're very efficient at it. That's what I like. In 2020, though, their receivers were extremely poor production-wise. Yeah, I think we were expecting kind of a sophomore year breakout from Hollywood Brown, but it didn't come to light. So we're kind of disappointed, kind of underwhelmed. Hollywood Brown is the number one, and they addressed that. Sammy Watkins, Bateman, Tylan Wallace.
Like that.
Just getting some explosiveness, some more speed on the outside. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they're able to do that, especially with Bateman. He can kind of be their alpha dog, be their number one target, most reliable, good route runner. He's got good hands. We're more reliable of a target than Hollywood Brown. He's more of a deep threat. But with that being said, it's going to be a great team. I think I'm going to have them finishing around 12-5. I'm going to have them the same as the Cleveland Browns. I think they both get into the playoffs. The Browns will own the tiebreaker, will win the division, but Baltimore slides into that wild card spot.
Wow, the Browns winning the division.
Yeah.
What is it, 1928?
Yeah, first time since Normandy. What do you got for them?
I got a partridge in a pear tree. Now for the Ravens, I have them going 11-6, coming in second to the Browns. So we agree that the Browns will win the division. I think we have the same Browns, Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. Correct?
Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Okay.
We might be banking on Cleveland a little too much, man. We haven't even seen them do it that well.
That's what scares me, man. Every time you put trust in the Browns, they always,
leave you brown.
Yeah, instead of blue, they leave you brown.
But that's okay. You got a bold prediction for the Baltimore Ravens in 2021?
Yeah, this one's going to be crazy.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson will be top 5 in passing yards. I think he goes career high in every category, like completion, QBR.
For throwing statistics?
Yeah, he's just going to have a career year all the way around.
What about rushing?
Normal.
Career year?
No, he'll have 1,000 yards.
Okay, that's a lot. He's crazier. He'll be MVP if he does that.
Well, you don't think he'll get 1,000 yards?
Well, if you're banking on career high passing and 1,000 yards rushing, that's MVP, mate.
Has he already gotten MVP?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can do it again.
So you do have him winning MVP?
I'm not going to say that.
You're scared of him.
Because I think Shaquan's going to have 2,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving.
I would be shocked.
I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just throwing... Maybe... Well, it sounds crazy, but I just think he'll have the best year passing as a pro, Lamar. I don't want to put any numbers on it no more.
Yeah, no, I like it because my bold prediction goes right off that. Rashad Bateman will lead all rookies in catches, yards, and touchdowns at receiver.
I've got a bold prediction.
You got another?
Yeah, Sammy Watkins will lead the Ravens in receiving yards.
That's not bold.
Receiving yards, touchdowns, and receptions.
That's not bold enough, mate. He's supposed to be the guy, probably. Maybe Hollywood.
J.K. Dobbins will break the NFL rushing record in a season. Is that bold enough for you, partner? This town ain't big enough for the both of ye. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. We appreciate the support as always. Thank you so much. You guys have a great, safe, fun weekend. Live it up. Peace, love, and happiness.